most of his career, Walter Johnson had one pitch and one pitch only. That was a fastball. Batters knew what was coming, they still couldn't hit it. Watch his front leg when he pitches. He blocks himself and stops his momentum, and I think that increases velocity. My daughter was a pitcher through much of her, her whole softball life through high school. She had an exceptional fastball and probably the best changeup in the city. I spent a lot of time talking to Susanna about blocking her front leg, pitching off a stiff front leg, and that did increase her velocity. The big train, Walter Johnson, set a strikeout mark that stood for over 50 years, striking out over 3,500 batters. He pitched 5,924 innings. He threw 531 complete games of the 666 he pitched in. From 1910 to 1919, he never won less than 20 games. He had low earned run averages, such as 1.114. He pitched 56 consecutive scoreless innings. But he did not get to the World Series until 1924, which he won Game 7. And he also pitched in the 1925 World Series, and that brings us to iconic moment number 15, Walter Johnson's last World Series game, October 15, 1925. This is Apba Baseball Classics, where yesterday's stars performed through cards and dice, classic games on our tabletops. Hi everybody, this is Apba Brian and Apba Baseball Classics, bringing to you Iconic Moments game number 15. This is the seventh game of the 1925 World Series. Walter Johnson's last World Series game. He's in his 18th season, and he pitched 2 more years, but this is his last shot at the World Series. He won Game 7 of the 24 World Series. I think he lost 2 previous games in that. And then in the 25 Series, he dominated in his first 2 starts, winning Game 1 4-1, winning his next start. Now Game 7. The interesting thing about Game 7 is that it was an overcast day in Pittsburgh, and it was rainy and drizzly, and then it was a torrential downpour from about the 7th inning on. A lot of wacky things about this World Series, a lot of wacky things about this Game 7 of the actual World Series. One thing, in Game 3, right fielder Sam Rice made a crucial catch, or center fielder Sam Rice made a crucial catch in left center field, falling into the stands at Forbes Field. And he caught the ball about 10 feet in front of the fence, but his running toward the fence took him into the stands, and he disappeared for about 10 seconds. Nobody saw him. Then he came up holding the ball high. The umpire called the batter out. Everyone thought that maybe somebody gave him the ball, and Sam Rice would not answer that question through the rest of his life. He would always say, the umpires called him out, so he must be out. And then at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, I think in 1963, they asked him that question, and he agreed to write a letter to the Hall of Fame and put in the letter whether he caught the ball or not, and but it was not to be opened until after he died. Hall of Famer Sam Rice passed away in 1974. They opened the letter, and he said in the letter that he had a death grip on the ball, and at no time was it out of his possession. As for Game 7, there were several unusual things that happened. We'll try to work those facts in during the game. But for now, let's get the game started. Vic Aldridge is on the mound for the Pirates. Sam Rice steps in the box for the Senators. We're using the Merino boards today, and I'm going to go ahead and try to use the numbers for the pitchers and just do the math. I don't normally like to do that, but I haven't done that for a very long time on the channel. So let's do it today. We use the left-right splits. Vic Aldridge is a 12 and right-handed. Here's the pitch to Sam Rice. 14 is a fly ball to left field. Clyde Barnhart is under it and makes the catch. That's the first out of Game 7 of the 25 World Series. Bucky Harris, player manager. One of two Harrises on the squad that I would get confused. The other is Joe Harris, who played in the outfield and sometimes first base. Here's Bucky. 1-2 is a 25. That's going to be a ground ball to second base, or X. Vic Aldridge has an X, so it's a strikeout. Bucky Harris goes back to the dugout, a strikeout victim. 2 outs. Here's Hall of Famer Goose Goslin. Goslin is a left-handed batter. Negative, hits worse against lefties, -2, so that makes Aldridge a 14 on the column. 23 is a roller back to Aldridge. The pitcher has it, throws to first. It's an easy top of the first. With the bottom of the first inning, no score with Pittsburgh coming to bat. All right, Big Train Walter Johnson completes his warm-up tosses. He was 20-7 in 1925 with a 3.07 ERA. He is a 14-rated pitcher and right-handed. Eddie Moore steps into the box. 3-2 is a 26 ground ball to second base. Manager Bucky Harris fields it and throws to first. 1 away. Here's Max Carey, definitely one of the top players on the Pirates squad, 343 hitter in 1925, also very fast. I'm wrong about it. Yeah, he is fast. 1-5 is an 11 on the column. 16, it's going to be a base hit for Max Carey. Let's check his steal rating. It is D31. That's a high success number, but the D prevents him from going. 1 or 2 outs if they're tied after 6 inning. Any outs. Well, he could go. Yeah, he could go. And he probably will. And I got the wrong. So Pirates are up, and there goes Carey. Carey is a 31 success number. Johnson's move to first is 0. And his catcher rule is +2, so 29 success number. And that is a roll of 11 through 55. He'll be safe. 34, Max Carey steals second base. Kai Kyler is a hitter, 357 batter, 18 homers. There's the pitch to Kyler. 35 is a 9 on fielding column 15. That's a hit, and Max Carey will score. In the actual game, the Senators jumped on the Pirates in the first inning. Looks like the other way around here. The Senators scored 4 and had a 4-0 lead after 1. Kyler's at first. D29 stealing, same deal. He'd be a 27 success rate. And that could probably go. 11 through 53, there goes Kyler. 56, this time the catcher Smith, or the catcher Muddy Rule, throws out Kyler 2-2. Got a right-handed batter, so 2-4. That's 2 outs. Bases are clear. Clive Barnhart's the hitter. 46 is a 2-7. That's an X, and Walter Johnson has an X. That's a strikeout. But the Pirates get 1. We go to the top of the second. Pittsburgh 1, and Washington nothing. Joe Harris leads off the top of the second inning. This is the first time I've handled the Pirates cards. I think this is the first game I've played with them since I ordered them from the Apba Game Company. World Series set 1925. You can get those for $10 a piece plus postage. Here is Joe Harris for Washington, 44. That's a 7 against a +1 for Harris, reduces him to 11. Most 7s are base hits, and that is a single. Brings up first baseman Joe Judge. Harris is an E25. Can't steal till there's 2 out. After 6 any outs. All right, so look at this. This is you could steal if there's 2 outs, -1 in the score or tied or +1. And then in parentheses it says after 6 any outs he could steal. So I take that to mean that he could steal any time. There's 2 outs before the 6th inning. And then after the 6th inning, any outs. So he can't go yet. Here is Joe Judge. Here's the pitch. He could hit and run. Judge is a .314 hitter, has some power with 8 homers. Here's the pitch. 1-2 is a 25. A roller to second base. It has double play written all over it. Moore flips to the shortstop right, over to first base. McInnes, and that is a 4-6-3 double play. Both teams now have had a base runner wiped off the pass. Here is Ozzie Bluish. 2 outs, nobody on for Washington. 6-2 is a 26. And that's a ground out to second base. So far, Vic Aldridge has faced the minimum. We go to the bottom of the second. Pirates 1, Washington nothing. Pie Traynor leads off the bottom of the second inning for Pittsburgh 10 times. He hit over 300. He started his career just as Honus Widener, the Hall of Fame shortstop for the Pirates, retired. But he was a great defensive player in his own right, Pie Traynor, probably the best National League defensive third baseman. Here is a pitch from Walter Johnson to Pie Traynor, 25, is an 8. An 8 on a column 16, as Traynor adds 2, is a fly out to center field. 1 away. Here's shortstop Glenn Wright. 308 hitter in 1925. 34 is going to be another fly out to center field. Sam Rice is under it and makes the catch. 2 outs. Here's a veteran, Steffi McInnes, who played back in the old Philadelphia A's teams that were winning championships in 1910, 11, and 12. Here's a pitch to Steffi McInnes. 1-1 roll is a hit column roll. And that's a double for McInnes. L and M ratings can change those doubles into home runs. Johnson doesn't have any of those sort of ratings, and neither does Vic Aldridge. So McInnes settles in at second base. He's there with 2 outs. Earl Smith, the 8th place hitter, a 3-13 hitter, was going to get an intentional pass. First and second. With 2 out the pitcher, Vic Aldridge comes to bat. 6-4 roll is a fly ball to left field. That will end the threat. As soon as and if Goose Gosselin makes the catch, he does. 3 outs. We go to the top of the third. 2-0 Pittsburgh. Correction. 1-0 Pittsburgh. They did not score in this inning. For the third inning, The bottom of the Senators' order will be scheduled to hit Roger Peckinpah, Muddy Royal, and Walter Johnson. Peckinpah was the 1925 American League MVP, playing spectacular defense, and that defense failed Peckinpah in a huge way in the 25 World Series. He committed a record 8 errors and 2 critical errors in Game 7. But, you know, the elements with the pouring rain were probably part of a factor in that Game 7. There's a pitch to Peckinpah. 33 is a 7. That's a line drive base hit for Roger Peckinpah. Average speed at first. Let's see. Threat to steal, though, at some point. E30, that's a high success rate. Here is Muddy Royal, the catcher. 310 hitter in 1925. Here's a pitch to Royal. 44 is a 7. Rolls a right-handed batter, and he gives away 2 to Aldridge. It makes him a 14. And that's going to be a single. And that sends Peckinpah to third and brings up the pitcher, Walter Johnson. Through his career, he is a dangerous hitter. There's at least one I know of that he hit over 400. Yeah, and a quick check of Baseball Reference, he hit 433 in 1925. He's a lifetime 235 hitter, but and 1925 was his best hitting season. Vic Aldridge has a man at first, dangerous hitter at the plate. Roger Peckinpah finally arrives at third. And here's a pitch to Walter Johnson. 45 is, that's a walk that's going to fill the bases with no outs. Senators at every station. Sam Rice, a 350 hitter, steps into the box. Can Sam Rice put a quarter in the merry-go-round? Here's the stretch and the pitch to Vic Aldridge, from Vic Aldridge. It'll be column 13, pitching to Rice. No, wait a minute. Yeah, that's correct. Column 13, pitching to Rice. 53 is a 15. That's a 5-ball lefted out toward Goose Goslin. Or not Goslin, it's going to be Barnhart. Barnhart is a fielding column 3, rated 1, and he drops the ball. 1 base error. E7. Senators, Peckinpah scores, so Rule goes to third, Johnson to second, and Rice is on first with an error. 2-1, Pittsburgh. Still nobody out. Here's Bucky Harris, player manager. Pitch to Bucky, 32 is a 26. That's going to be a fielder's choice. Harris is safe at first with a fielder's choice, and Rice is out at second, 4-6. Rule scores, and Johnson goes to third. RBI for Bucky Harris. That brings up Goose Goslin. Let's see. Just 1 out. Defensive play for a double play, and I lost a dice off the board. Fell on the floor. We'll roll again. 42 is a 9. That's a base hit, scoring Johnson. Harris goes to third, and that is an RBI for Goslin, and first and second. Still only 1 out, and here is the first baseman, Joe Judge. 1-2 is a 25. That might be a double play. Let's see. Yeah, it's a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. But the Senators scored 3 times in the third. We go to the bottom of the third. Washington 3, Pittsburgh 1. All right, the batting order turns over for the Pirates. They'll start at the top. Eddie Moore steps into the box against Walter Johnson. 63 is a fly ball to center field, caught by Sam Rice. One down. Here's Max Scoops carry. 1-6 is a ground ball to shortstop. Peckinpah has it, throws across the diamond. 2 outs. Brings up Kai Kyler. Singleton drove in a run in the first inning. 46 is a swing and a miss. Strike 3, that's the first strikeout for the big train. We go to the top of the 4th. Senators 3, Pirates 1. Vic Aldridge hails from Indian Springs, Indiana. He's 5'10", 175 pounds. He's ready to pitch to Aussie Blue Age. One 4 to Joe Judge is a fly ball to left field, caught by Clyde Barnhart. 1 away. Here's Aussie Blue Age. 2-2 is a 7 against a 14. That's a clean base hit. C22 stealing, not a high success number. Roger Peckinpah, the MVP shortstop, steps into the box. 64 is a 39. That's strike 1. 13's a 14. Peckinpah works a base on balls. The politicians have runners at first and second. Muddy rule. 3-2 is a 26. Popped up high on the infield. The umpire immediately calls the infield fly rule. The batter is out. Ball is caught by Eddie Moore. 2 outs. Rule not happy with the unproductive out. That brings up Walter Johnson and his .433 average. You'd almost be tempted to walk him intentionally, except Sam Rice behind him is hitting .350. Here's a pitch to Walter Johnson. 54 is a fly ball, hit hard to right field, but catchable. Kai Kyler calls for it and got it. 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still 3-1 Senators. All right, outfielder Clyde Barnhart leads off for the Buccos, down by 2 runs. 43 is a roller back to Walter Johnson. Throws him out, 1 away. Here's Pie Traynor, Hall of Famer. 43 is also a same thing. Ground ball back to Johnson. 2 outs. Glenn Wright. One, 2 is a 25. That play result has an X. It's a strikeout. 3rd strikeout for Walter Johnson. 3 up and 3 down, and Johnson has retired the last 7 Pirates in order. We go to the top of the 5th. 3-1 Washington. Sam Rice will lead off the top of the 5th for the Senators. He is, like Vic Aldridge, a native of Indiana. He lived near Morocco, Indiana. And I think there are not many Major League Baseball players who had as much tragedy in his life as Rice did. Before he was in the major leagues, he was playing in the minors in 1912. He had a wife. He had 2 young children, 18 months old and 3 years old. And he went to Galesburg, Illinois to play for a minor league team named the Galesburg Pavers of the Central Association. And he spent a short time with that team. He was a pitcher at the time. And he was pitching on April 21st in a relief appearance. That same day, his wife took their children and traveled to visit Rice's parents in Morocco, about 20 miles from where they lived. A storm arose, and a tornado swept across the family's home. That tornado destroyed the buildings on that farm, and it killed his wife and his 2 children, his mother, 2 younger sisters, and also a farmhand. And then it severely injured Rice's father, and he died a week later. After that, Rice just kind of knocked around. He joined the Navy and still played baseball while in the Navy, and then moved on with his career, but tremendous tragedy in his life. Aldridge's pitch to Rice is a 64. That play goes to column 13, and it's got an X, so that's a strikeout. Sam Rice caught looking, 1 down. Here's Bucky Harris. 3-5 is a 14. That's going to be a base on balls. A lot of base runners against the Pirates pitcher. Bucky is C21 in stealing. Gosselin, a 334 hitter. He'll hold on at first. 2-4 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. Now with 2 outs, if he wants to steal, his chances are 11-42. There he goes. And 53, he's going to be thrown out by the catcher, Earl Smith. Bucky Harris caught stealing, 2-4. That's the end of the top of the 5th, still 3-1, Washington. We are playing this game as though we were playing under dry conditions. We had a rain delay, I believe, in the game yesterday. A long rain delay that took out the starting pitchers. Don't want any rain today. But in the actual game, it drizzled through the first 7 innings and then started raining hard in the 7th inning. So I would imagine that probably curtailed much thoughts of stealing. Here is Johnson pitching to Steffi McInnes in the bottom of the 5th inning. 6-2 is a fly ball to right field. Joe Harris tracks and picks it out of the sky. 1 down. Catcher Earl Smith. Fresh off throwing out a base runner. 44 is a 7. A hit for the catcher Earl Smith. Slow runner at first will play safe with all the slow runners unless I say otherwise. Here's a pitcher, Vic Aldridge. He is not inept with the bat, 233 hitter in 1925. Vic Aldridge. There's the pitch. 21 is a fly ball to left field. Clyde Barnhart. Excuse me, that's a Pirate. The left fielder is Goose Gosselin. Makes the catch, 2 outs. Eddie Moore. 54 is a 12. A roller back to the mound. Johnson picks it up and throws out Eddie Moore. 3 outs. We go to the top of the 6th. Washington 3, Pittsburgh 1. Joe Harris is the first scheduled hitter for Washington. He'll be followed by Joe Judge and Ozzie Bluish. Here's the pitch from Vic Aldridge. 43 is going to be a ground ball back to Aldridge. He snags it, throws a first, underhanded flip, 1 down. Joe Judge. 6-5 is a pop-up to the catcher, Earl Smith. 2 outs. Ozzie Bluish. And 1-2 will be the 3rd out. That's a play result with an X. So Bluish is called out looking on strikes. 3 up and 3 down for the Senators. The visitors lead 3-1. Max Carey will lead off for the Pirates, and he was a very good defensive outfielder all through his career. Not real strong offensively until he saw Ty Cobb play for the first time in 1924, and he decided to alter his style to hit like Ty Cobb. And lo and behold, 1925, he hit 343. He's leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. Pirates have some work to do. They're down by 2 runs. There's a pitch from Walter Johnson to Max Carey, 1-3. It's going to be a leadoff walk. Ball 4 to Carey. Fast runner. he has already stolen the base in this game. Down by 2 and a 357 hitter, Kyler up there. We will hold first base and not try to steal here. 42 is a 9 on column 16. That's going to be a base hit. Carey goes to second, holds at second. Pirates have their first 2 hitters on, first and second, no outs. Clyde Barnhart, 325 hitter. There was an early jam in the second inning, but it's been mostly smooth sailing for Walter Johnson. He's in trouble here. The Senators have a good relief pitcher, and Bucky Harris used Firpo Marbury, who is also a fastball pitcher, very intense competitor, as a late inning reliever for the first time really in baseball. You could say that Firpo Marbury was the first closer. But Johnson finished most of his game. Let's see how this one goes. Here's a pitch to Clyde Barnhart. 25 is an 8 on fielding column 16. Popped up high on the infield. Roger Peckinpah is calling for it and makes the catch. Would be a fielder's choice anyway. 1 down. Pie Traynor. 7. That's a hit for Traynor. Carey's going to score. Kyler goes to third, and an RBI by Traynor brings the Pirates to within a run, and they have the tying run 90 feet away with only 1 down. Shortstop Glenn Wright due to hit. Washington will play the infield back, try to get a double play. 24. Fly ball to left field, hit pretty deep. And the Merino boards, we roll to see how deep it is. Fielding column 1 because the left fielder is a 1. Fielding column 3 rather. The left fielder for Washington, Gosselin, is rated 1. So that's a 3. That would be a medium. The middle of the parenthesis here. So here's the depth. Depth is 56. So we add that depth to the speed of the base runner at third, who is Kyler. He's pretty fast. 19. So 60, 70, and then subtract the arm of Clyde Barnhart. Kind of thinking there's probably no point of even, or not Barnhart, Gosselin. Let's see, Gosselin's arm's 33. So 7. $37, that's going to score. Not even, no throw. So Kyler tags and scores. Traynor holds it first, and the game is tied 3-3. Here's Stuffy McInnes, now with 2 outs. That's an extra base roll for McInnes. 64 is a double. And with 2 outs, that scores the runner from first. Unless he's slow. I don't think Traynor is slow. He is fast. 4-3 Pirates. Earl Smith will draw an intentional walk. And Walter Johnson will pitch to Vic Aldridge. 3-2 is a 20. An infield pop fly to the second baseman, Bucky Harris. That ends the inning. But the Pirates score 3 and take the lead. Pittsburgh 4, Washington 3. Top of the 7th inning is the fatigue inning for Vic Aldridge. If 3 bad things happen, his grade will go down 5 points, or 1 letter grade. He is like a B pitcher. And basic, he'd become a C, or the 12 grade would become a 7 grade. If he has 3 bad things happen to him, Roger Peckinpah, the shortstop, will lead off for Washington. Here's the pitch. 3-2 is a 26. Ground ball hit to second baseman Eddie Moore. He scoops it and throws the first. And Moore retires the AL MVP, 1 out. Here is Money Rule, the catcher. 52 is a 27. That's got an X, so it's a strikeout. Aldridge has the X strikeout rating. And now here's Walter Big Train Johnson. Again, 433 hitter. Even if he's not pitching the bottom of the 7th inning, I would still want him to bat. Here's the pitch. 41 is a 28. Ground ball to shortstop. 3 up and 3 down. Senators have not had a hit since the 4th inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Washington 3 and Pittsburgh 4. Pitcher Vic Aldridge is the first scheduled hitter for the Pirates in the bottom of the 7th inning. He will go up and bat, stay in the game. He's got a 1-run lead. Walter Johnson returns to the mound. Pitched 531 complete games and 666 starts. Was not relieved often. But with the way things happened in the actual World Series game, Game 7, because of the weather conditions, Johnson gave up 9 runs in that game. 5 were earned, 4 were unearned due to 2 errors by the shortstop Peckinpah. But the Washington media roasted Bucky Harris, and he even got a letter from Van Johnson, president of the American League, criticizing him for not relieving Walter Johnson and bringing in Furple Marbury, the reliever. But Washington manager Bucky Harris simply replied to Van Johnson in a return letter and said, "You run the American League, I'll run the Washington baseball team." He put all of his stock in Walter Johnson, and that's a good place to put it. Here's Vic. I will too in this situation. Vic Aldridge leads off for Pittsburgh, bottom of the 7th inning. This is the fatigue inning for Johnson as well, 21. Fly ball to left field. Caught by Goose Goslin. There's 1 down in the Pittsburgh half of the 7th inning. Top of the order, and Eddie Moore, 0 for 3 in today's game. 26 is a fly ball to right field. Joe Harris is under it and puts it away, 2 outs. Now Max Carey. 43 is a roll. That's a roller back to Johnson. He's got it. The pitcher throws the first, 3 outs. Let's go to the 8th inning. Pirates are up by up inning. Another source of controversy in that Game 7 of the actual 25 World Series was the game-winning hit. I think that hit was by Kai Kyler late in the game, and it was not only a game-winning hit, it was a series-winning hit. Goose Goslin was playing left field for the Senators, and he reported that the last 3 innings, it was not only hard to see the infield and the baseball from left field because of the rain, there was also fog, and most everyone's claimed that was the worst conditions a World Series game had ever been played under. But Goslin said that game-winning hit fell foul and made a dent in foul territory in the mud. And the umpires, when he argued, the umpires would not even come out and look at it. It was reported the next day in the New York Times by James Harrison, in a, quote, "In a grave of mud was buried Walter Johnson's ambition to join the select panel of pitchers who have won 3 victories in 1 World Series." But in dry conditions here in Kansas City, Vic Aldridge returns to the mound to pitch the 8th inning. Sam Rice is the leadoff hitter. It is hot here. It's going to get 94 today. Here's the pitch to Sam Rice. 1-3 is a base on balls. Potential tying run at first base, and a fast man at that. Rice's steal rating is E27. That success number 27 is not great, not bad. Throwing arm for Earl Smith is +2 to his favor, so it makes it 25. 0 is the move to first by Aldridge. So his chances, if should he decide to accept a mission of stealing second base, chances are 11 through 51. Could hit and run, could butt him the second. Don't want to give up that one of your last 6 outs with a bunt. Going to try to steal. There goes Rice. Here's a throw. 25. He is safe at second with a stolen base and now in scoring position with no outs. Actually, Harris might bunt here. Pirates third baseman edges in. Pie Trainer thinking the same thing. Here's a pitch to Harris. He's swinging away. 6-6 roll. That's a hit column roll for Harris. 1-5, a hot shot down the third base line. It's going to be a double for Bucky Harris, scoring Sam Rice and tying the game at 4 apiece. Goose Goslin. Is a fly ball to left. That's the third out. Washington scores ones, and we've got a new ball game, 4-4. Very dangerous. Kyler leads off for the Pirates in the bottom of the 8th inning. He is 2 for 3 in this game as an RBI and a run scored. Here's the pitch to Kai. 45 is going to be a base on balls. Kyler takes first. That's the first mark against Walter Johnson's fatigue. And Kyler D29 is a threat to steal. Especially with me managing. I like to run when I can. Take one number off for the catcher's arm. He's at 28, and that means 11 through 54 he'll be safe. Those are pretty good odds. He's not only is he safe, but the throw sails into center field, and Kyler will go to third. Arrow and the catcher, muddy rule. So no outs. The go-ahead runs 90 feet away. Clyde Barnhart, timeout. I am going to go ahead and make that change that Bucky Harris refused to make. I'm going to lift Walter Johnson and bring in Firpo Marbury. He's a grade B pitcher, XW modifiers. He is right-handed, pitching to right-handed Barnhart, so he's going to add 5 to his relief rating of 13, so he'll be an 18 pitcher. That's significantly better than what Walter Johnson would be, especially if Johnson gets fully tired. So we'll go with Marbury, 18, and we will play the infield in. There's a pitch to Clyde Barnhart, 56. A high pop-up on the first base side. Joe Judge calls it and makes the catch. 1 down. Here's Pie Trainer. Marbury's pitching grade goes back to his regular 13 now. Infield is still playing in. The pitch to Pie Trainer. 1-1 roll. That's going to be a hit column roll for a Trainer. And that will give Pittsburgh the lead. A double for the Hall of Famer Pie Trainer. He is 2 for 4 and has his team in front 5-4. All right, Glenn Wright, the shortstop. 6-6 rolls, a drive. It might be, it could be, it is out of here. A 2-run home run for the Pirates. They take a 3-run lead, 7-4. Those runs belong to Firpo Marbury. Pirates fans are going delirious. Here is Steffi McInnes, bases clear, 21. Is a base on balls. Marbury has pitched to 4 batters and only retired one of them, the first one. Here is the catcher, Earl Smith. 55 is a 7. That 7 is on column 15. That sends McInnes to third if he's not slow. He is slow, so he goes to second only. First and second. Here's the pitcher, Ray Kremer. 21's a strikeout. 2 outs. Top of the order, and Eddie Moore. 1-6 is a ground out to the shortstop. Peckinpah goes the short way, 6-4, and that retires the Pittsburgh's 8th inning. But they send 8 batters to the plate and score 3 times to take a 7-4 lead. All right, Ray Kremer will get the bottom of the Senators' order. Peckinpah, Muddy Rule, and probably a pinch hitter for the pitcher. There's a pitch to Peckinpah. 6-6 roll. That's a hit column roll for the AL MVP. 1-3 is going to be a leadoff double for Roger Peckinpah. He's 2 for 3. Been on base 3 times. Catcher, Muddy Rule. 56 is a base on balls. First and second. Timeout. Not going to make this easy on the Pirates. We're going to give Washington the best chance I can give them. Bobby Veach is going to pitch hit for the pitcher. He's a .323 hitter. And then there's Sam Rice, .350. And then another pitch hitter, Benny Tate, who only batted 27 times, but he has a .481 average, so he will be called on. And then Dewey Adams will go in and play second base for Bucky Harris, if they're able to get this game tied. Here is Bobby Veach pitch hitting for the pitcher. Kremer pitches 1-1 roll. That's a hit column roll, and at first it's not a hit column roll. It's a 6 there, and that 6 is on column 11. Now take a look at this. That is a double with both runs scoring, but it has an L and M. Veach is a right-handed batter, but it's -0, so no change from the pitcher's rating of 11. Kremer is 11. So that 11 column with 6 has the L and M, and Kremer has the L on his card. That turns it into a home run. So in the master rules, if an L is on the pitcher's card and L is in the square, that turns a 6 into a 1. A 3-run home run for Bobby Veach, pitch hit home run. Senators tie the score 7-7 in the 9th. We talk about iconic moments in baseball history. How's that for an iconic moment? Here's Sam Rice, .350 hitter. Timeout. Pirate manager Bill McKechnie comes to the mound. He talks to Ray Kremer. He is going to leave Kremer in the game. The pitch to Rice. Here's the pitch. 2-2 roll. 7. That's a single by Sam Rice. And it has not been pretty for Ray Kremer. I'll tell you, he's pitched to 4 batters in this inning. They have all reached in spectacular fashion. He walked 1 in the last inning. Timeout. Manager Bill McKechnie goes back to the mound. He's bringing a jug handle with him. Jug handle Johnny Morrison will be the relief pitcher. He pitched in the actual game. He pitched 3 2/3 innings in the actual game. Comes on here. He is a grade C pitcher, no modifiers. His pitching rating is 10. Right-handed pitcher pitching to pinch hitter Benny Tate, left-handed batter. So he's not going to get a bump up. There's the pitch to the .481 hitter Benny Tate. 55 is a 7. A base hit for Tate that sends the quick Rice to third. First and third for Washington, still no outs. The next batter is Goose Goslin. Still no outs. Pirates will play the infield back, try to stop the go-ahead run from scoring. Here's a pitch to Goslin. 42 is a 9. That's a single. It's going to score Rice from third. Harris goes to second. And the Senators have scored 4 times in the ninth to take an 8-7 lead. All those runs charged to Ray Kremer. Still nobody out, and here is Joe Harris. 1-5 is a 10. That's going to be an infield single for Joe Harris, loading the bases. 7 Washington Senators have batted in the inning. All 7 have reached. Still no one out. Joe Judge. Infield's playing back for a double play. 36 is a 12. That is a 6-4-3 double play. So Goslin scores. That run is charged to Morrison. The other runner that's on second goes to third. And there's 2 outs. Now the ninth batter in the inning, Aussie Bluish, will come to the plate. Here's the pitch to Bluish, 21, is a fly out to left field. That's the end of the ninth inning. But in the ninth, on 6 hits and a walk, primarily a pitch home run by Bobby Veach, the Senators take a 9-7 lead into the bottom of the ninth. Left-hander Dutch Ruther will be asked to close it out for the Senators. Comes from Alameda, California. He is a 18-7 record in 1925, 3.87 earned run average. His pitching rating is 10, left-handed. He will have to deal with the toughest part of the Pirate order, Max Carey, Kai Kyler, and Clyde Barnhart. Here's a pitch to Max Carey. 54-12. A ground ball to third base, taken by Aussie Bluish to throw across, 1 away. Here's Kai Kyler. Kyler is 2 for 3 and walked. 56-34 is a Y on the play result. And Ruther has a Y. That's a strikeout. Caught looking. 2 outs. Clyde Barnhart. 31 is a 9. Against an 8. 33 play result. Y. Strikeout. Strike 3. That's the ball game. The final score of Game 7 of the 1925 World Series, and repeating as world champions for the second year of the row here, are the Washington Senators 9, Pittsburgh Pirates 7. We'll be back with a wrap-up. In this series of iconic moments, I think we're creating some new iconic moments. How about a pinch 3-run home run in the 9th inning to bring the Washington Senators from behind to beat the Pittsburgh Pirates? They were down by 3 runs and scoring at least 4 runs after the 9th inning. I think that will be a World Series record. I'm not swearing to that, but I think at that point we read that somewhere. I think we're going to do another iconic game somewhere down the line, the 1929 World Series, where a team came from behind by about 8 runs. The Cubs coming from behind the A's coming from behind over the Cubs to overturn them in a World Series game. But here, quite a dramatic comeback by the Washington Senators. The Senators scored 9 runs, 12 hits, and an error. Pittsburgh scored 7 runs, 9 hits, and committed 1 error. Will make Dutch Ruther the winning pitcher for Washington, and Ray Kremer the loser for the Pirates. Today's star of the game is Bobby Veach, who played in the major leagues from 1910 to 1930. He played professionally 1910 to 1930, 14 seasons in the major leagues. He was a longtime left fielder for the Detroit Tigers, 1912 to 23, where he played behind such names as Ty Cobb, Sam Crawford, and Harry Heilman. But he was no slouch himself. He was a .310 career batting average, and he hit with some power, as we saw here in today's game. He was part of the Detroit 1915 outfield that Bill James calls the greatest outfield in history. Bobby Veach, Ty Cobb, and Wahoo Sam Crawford. Cobb and Crawford being Hall of Famers. Bobby Veach, today's star of the game. Hope you enjoyed this game. I did. It was a lot of fun. Pretty similar to the actual game, which finished with a 9-7 score. Only the Pittsburgh Pirates won that game. In our game, the replay, the Washington Senators take the prize. That'll do it from here. This is Apba Bryan and Apba Baseball Classics saying so long